Hello, it's around 8 p.m. on June 26th, 2019, and a hot day outside, and we got some severe thunderstorms around, so you can see it on the map here. Severe thunderstorm warning for, it looks like, Poughkeepsie and Monticello, upstate there. So Putnam and Dutchess counties and Orange County are at risk of getting hit by this, and here are the storms. So here they are. You can see them bearing down on this area. They're probably not going to affect us here on Long Island. It's possible if they hold together, and the trajectory might take them over the Twin Forks, but we'll have to see what happens. But these are some thunderstorms here, and we can look at the lightning and see how much lightning they're putting down as well. Let's do that. See if there's a lot of lightning with these or not. Yes, decent enough amount. Decent enough. Not huge amount of lightning, but there's some. Let's go back to the Weather Service website and look at some of the temperature conditions across the area, because it was a hot one today on Long Island. We didn't really have much of a sea breeze. There's a very weak sea breeze now going, but it was very hot throughout the entire day. So we're gonna look at that and see as we wait for the temperature to load. Always waiting for this thing. Alright, let's look at the satellite while we wait for that, so I don't waste time. Yeah, look at that. It shows up nicely on the satellite, so let me move this down. And you will see here that we have these thunderstorms here that are really just blossoming to the west and north of us. Question is, will they hold together or not? That is the question. We'll have to see what the models have to say. I mean, as you see, it's getting dark outside, so the energy for these storms is probably diminishing. So I'm thinking we're probably not going to see them. Alright, so let's go to the observations here and see what we got. Farmingdale, 76. Dew point is up to 63. That's at Farmingdale. But they did hit 87 degrees at Farmingdale, so it's quite a hot day today. But the dew points for a period were low in the 50s. Look at these erratic dew points. 53, and then the next hour, when the wind shifted to the south, that was the sea breeze coming in, but it brought the dew point up to 64, but did drop the temperature down. But with the humidity, it actually feels more uncomfortable because it's not cool enough to really make it feel that great. 76, so that's at Farmingdale, hit 87. Let's take a look at Islip. 76, dew point up to 65 there, and it hit 86 at Islip. Again, we got into some of that heat because we didn't really have much of a sea breeze today. And it looks like Islip actually stayed kind of humid throughout the day. Their dew points did not drop. Interesting. So dew points there were still in the 60s all day, but Farmingdale had dew points drop into the 50s. That's interesting. When we saw that on the models, that there was like going to be a pocket of dry air that was going to develop out over the western part of Long Island. So 73 at West Hampton, cooler out there, 84, but they didn't get into the dry dew points either. We'll now go ahead and head west and look at New York City Central Park, which I usually don't, but it says 84 there, but I'm curious to see what Central Park got up to. So 84, still low dew point, 59, no sea breeze still, west at 7 miles an hour, and 87. So yeah, but the dew points were low, but it did get up to 87. And we'll look at Toms River, and it probably wasn't that much different in Toms River because it looks like there's an air quality alert now in effect for them, probably. We can look at that air quality alert. Let's look at that for a minute. Alright, so code orange air quality alert means that air pollute. Alright, this is Camden, Ocean, this is all New Jersey, so code orange because of bad air quality, because of the heat, probably. The heat and the vehicle exhaust causes ozone at ground level, which is a pollutant, so that's why you get that heat. So 79 at Toms River. Oh boy, look at the dew point there, up to 69 already. Now this is really interesting though. There were really low dew points in Toms River here for a while. It hit 91 in Toms River. There you go. Always hotter in Toms River. But there were low dew points for a time, and then the dew points came up because the wind shifted off the ocean, and there's like some humid air offshore that was brought in when the wind shifted in from the ocean, I guess. So that's what caused that. So we'll close this site up. We will look at the underground and take a look at the current temperatures outside right now across the area, and you will see temperatures are in the alright on the South Shore. Not even that cool on the South Shore. Only upper 70s. For a very weak sea breeze today, because we got that westerly flow in the upper atmosphere. Still in the low 80s on the North Shore. Still around here in Mineola. It was walking back from the train station. I was about to die after 15 minutes. 80 degrees, but the dew points are very high. If we go and we look at the dew points, you'll see. Let's go ahead. Yep, dew points are up. Looks like we have some 63, 67 degree dew points. So, yeah, it's humid again. It's humid again, and that's why we're dealing with this humidity. So we'll look at the Ventus sky, and the Ventus sky again similar. You can see cooler here, warmer over here, and Jersey still has Jersey in the 80s, but we just saw there the observation of Tom's River. It's not in the 80s anymore, so it has dropped off because there is a sea breeze or somewhat of a sea breeze. But again, the water temperatures here in this area aren't that cool. I guess I'll have to look at Earth Null School to show you that. And again, we'll look at the dew points too. So let's do that, because that's where you see that interesting mix. So let's do that. So dew points, yeah, they're up there, all right. So the dry air is kind of gone, and we have the humidity coming right back at us right now. Let's look at Earth Null School so I can show you the water temperatures and maybe some other stuff too, actually, that I got to show you toward the end of this update. But we'll first look at the water temperatures. Alright, ocean temperatures. Actually, I can show that to you on here. So we'll look at the actual sea surface temperatures offshore, right off the southern part, right here, right over here off Long Island. So let's see what we've got. 69. It's not that cool anymore. Yeah, the waters are warming up quickly. 67. So waters are warmer, so the effect from the sea breeze will be less as we head now into July. That's usually what we expect, unfortunately, but it still helps you on the South Shore, but it just doesn't get as far inland. That's the issue. So let's look at the models and let's see what's going on. So we're going to actually look at some of these rapid update models like the HRRR and show you what it's going to do with those storms. I don't think they're going to hold together. We'll just look at it for the next 8 hours. Now, how's it falling apart? Look at the NAM. Alright, so here it is showing up on the NAM better. Does it hold together? No, it doesn't. It falls apart. So I don't think they're going to reach our area. And then tomorrow, we don't have any to worry about any precipitation. And Friday, we also don't have to worry about any precipitation. So it will be dry. But the problem is it's going to be hot. So let's go to the GFS model right now. Look at these temperatures that we're going to be dealing with for the next couple of days. So as we go into tonight, not going to cool off that much. Maybe get down to the upper 60s to around 70. Tomorrow, warms up again. Tomorrow's going to be hot. Well above 90 in Jersey, probably maybe even above 90 in the middle of the island, and North Shore, those are in the city, could get above 90 degrees. And you can see it doesn't look like much of a sea breeze on this. Same thing for Friday, maybe a little hotter. We definitely have a chance at seeing 90 on Long Island in the next couple of days, unfortunately. Jersey, it's going to be well into the 90s for you. I wouldn't even be surprised if Tom's River makes around 100. Let's go look at Saturday. Same deal. So there's another hot day. Where Saturday could be even worse. Jersey could get close to 100. And Sunday backs off a little bit. And then Monday we have that front come through, and it's a little better. So we'll have to see. But then look what happens. The heat comes right back at us on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it's not looking good. Look at this. So we're looking at the long range here. This is well into July 6th. It's going to be a hot pattern. There we are. We're getting into a hot pattern, folks, unfortunately. So it's going to suck. It's going to suck. Let's look at these dew points, and let's see what the GFS has for dew points. Alright, so here is the dew point GFS. So you can see actually looking at the wind barb. So let's take a look at tomorrow. So Thursday, you can see not much of a sea breeze again, but lower dew points again. The same thing. Low dew points over the west part of Long Island, maybe even in New Jersey. Higher dew points as you go toward the east end because of the ocean influence. All right, but I'd say the most comfortable, you probably want to be on the South Shore to get the best sea breeze. And then Friday, we're still holding on to dew points possibly in the 50s, at least part of the day. New Jersey's humid already. So that'll make it a little more bearable, but unfortunately, once we get to Saturday, the dew points go well up into the 60s, maybe some 70-degree dew points, and then that front comes through on Sunday, but I have a feeling, let's see if it's going to, it does lower those dew points quite a bit. So that front does come through Sunday night, lowers those dew points down, and then they come right back up again. And then another front. So it won't be humid all the time, but it's certainly going to be hot. And then it looks like a next weekend, weekend of July 4th, could be absolutely steamy. So I'm not looking forward to any of this, obviously. Let's look at the sky conditions here and see. Today we actually had some halfway decent skies, and we might tomorrow as well. Maybe just a few clouds. For Friday, probably a lot more clouds. Saturday, a lot more clouds. Sunday, a lot of clouds. Monday, less clouds. And then maybe, yeah, Monday looks like could be a nice day, at least part of the day, but it looks like the cirrus is going to roll in us. Tuesday, we have we're trying to get rid of, like I said, this pattern is not a good pattern for us, and the problem is the jet stream again. That is the problem, as it always is here. So let's look at that jet stream again, and you'll see the problem. This big ridge in the east. You can see, look at this ridge going way up. You get this huge ridge. This ridge is so big it almost covers the whole country. You have to only be in the Pacific Northwest to actually have a trough. And we have that little trough that comes through again Sunday night and the Monday. That'll bring us some relief. You can see the flow coming out of Canada, but then we're right back into it again with that ridge again. And the jet stream is just a complete mess again. And you know, what can I say? It's ridiculous. You know, if you don't like the heat, and you know, if you were somewhere else like Arizona, you wouldn't be dealing with this Flagstaff. You'd have nice dry air, and you wouldn't have this humidity around, which is it's hard to take. Flagstaff has its own issues, though. It's very dry there. The opposite of here, it's almost too dry. So if you look at the dew points, you'll see here. Look at the dew points here. It'll show you again. Shows you where the humidity is. It's in the east. The humidity is in the east. The dry air is in the west. You can see following it the whole way through. If you look, I can move this real fast. You see it. It almost looks like steam boiling up from the tropics over the whole eastern part of the country. Meanwhile, the west has got some nice low dew points. So yeah, they're going to enjoy that. That's for sure. I do want to look at some forecasts for certain areas because some of my colleagues are away. So we're going to actually, if they are watching, we'll look at their forecasts and their weather conditions. My friend Andy's randomness is in Ocean City, so I think that's somewhere around here in Maryland. Let's take a look and see what their conditions are. So 78, dew point 64. Let's see what it hit at Ocean City today. 89, so kind of hot, a little steamy. And the forecast for that area, yeah, they're going to be pretty hot. Yeah, hot, humid, not great. Only one day that'll be cooler will be Monday. Now, Matt is in Orlando, so let's look at Orlando here and see, or in and around Orlando. Let's take a look and see what the weather is in Orlando, because Florida is unbelievable. 88, dew point 68. Actually, could be worse, but it's going to be hot and humid there. It is Florida. That's the way it is in the summertime there. Hit 96 there today in Orlando, so wow. I could never go to Florida. I couldn't go there. I wouldn't survive. That's oppressive. And we'll finally look at Flagstaff, Arizona, which is very nice. 72, the dew point 36. This is the kind of weather I want. It does get into the 80s, however, but the humidity is low, so it's very tolerable. We'll look at what their forecast actually. I meant to look at the forecast, not the. Well, I did want to see what it hit today. Okay, let's see what was the high today. Clear skies, and the high only got up to 73. Heavenly. That's heavenly right there in the west. It's just heavenly. 72, dew point 36, and let's see the forecast. Beautiful weather, of course. Just a couple of days where some clouds are around. Most part nice, no humidity, very nice. Another nice place, Denver, Colorado. Or yeah, we can do Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado Springs. That's another nice area. Ooh, it's hot there. 88, but the dew point is 34. Actually, it's gonna be pretty hot there. 90, 83. Wow, it gets hot in Denver. So it's cooler in Flagstaff than it is in Denver. Isn't that interesting? Oh, it gets up to 97 on Friday. Oh boy, that's hot for Denver. Again, because Denver's further east, so that's why. Flagstaff is in the right spot to be getting this cool air, and I'm surprised about that. What about Colorado Springs? I know Denver. Maybe it's hotter in this city. Let's see what they are there. 86, dew point 28. Yeah, it's going to be hot there. 90. So hotter than Flagstaff. The reason why is they're further east, so they're closer to that heat that's coming up, I guess. That's interesting, because Colorado is further north. That's interesting, but Flagstaff has some nice weather. That's all I could say. Nice place to visit, but it's expensive to live there. It's become very popular with its certain demographic, we'll just put it that way. That area, Denver, Colorado Springs, the West is very popular with a certain demographic now. But I don't talk about that anymore. I'm just saying that if I wanted to move there, that would be a challenge. If I did. I really don't, because Long Island is really the best place. So looking at Long Island right now, clear. Look at that. Clear skies on the satellite. Didn't have much clouds at all today, actually. It was a nice clear day, just very hot. So, but at least we had clear skies. Some more cumulus off to the west. Some of this off to the east. Not many clouds around us. Other than that, we don't really have. We have a little bit of cirrus, but not very much. See, this looks like some big storms going off there in the Midwest. But other than that, nothing really. Let's take a look at the fire situation up in Canada right now. I don't. Oh yeah, we got some wildfires in Alaska that look pretty bad now. I think this is Alaska over here. This is going to be an ongoing issue. I think this is Alaska over here. I think it is. Let me put place labels. Yeah, that's Alaska. So Fairbanks, looks like north of Fairbanks, there's some big fires going on. Wow, that's bad. All that smoke is going right. Look at that. It's darkening. You see it darkening the ice. All the ice is going to melt. And we're really going to be in a crisis. And then we're going to talk about Germany, because there's been some record heat in Germany, and that's what I wanted to talk about toward the end of this video. We're going to change the Earth null school to the surface temperature mode, and we're going to look at some of the temperatures that are being experienced in. Just change this to Fahrenheit. All right. So this is a look at the temperatures here. You can see there's a lot of heat in the west. A lot of heat in the west. So the west is getting the heat too. It's just that Flagstaff is very high up. It's like 7,000 feet. So the heat, it's very, very rare that it gets that hot at that altitude. But it's a high altitude climate. So that's why it's cool and dry there. But it's high altitude, which means the air is thinner. So let's go ahead and look at what's going on in Germany right now, in Europe. All right, because they've had some really bad heat right over here. So let's wait for this to load. Right over here. Doesn't look that bad. It's 70 degrees, but I think it's nighttime there. So we'd have to actually take this clock back a little bit. So let's, let me use Vent2Sky. I think that'll show up better. We'll use the Vent2Sky site. I like this site better. All right, so let's go ahead and look at Germany here on the Vent2Sky site. So I'll show you some of the heat going on. And if I can, because I read an article about this, the hottest. Germany is experiencing some of the hottest weather it's ever experienced. Again, this is all due to climate change. So let me find Germany here. And here it is. So let's take a look at this. So this is what it is now. So let's go back to earlier here. Here we go. Frankfurt, 94 degrees in Frankfurt. So here's Frankfurt here. This is Frankfurt, Germany, 94. So 90s. It's never supposed to get that hot in Europe. And a lot of these places, they weren't built with air conditioning. They have some temperatures near 100 degrees even in these areas. So can you imagine the heat in this area here? They might even be dealing with humidity too. Let's take a look at that and see. Yeah, it's humid too. Dew points in the 60s. Unbelievable. So Europe was never built for this kind of weather, and the summers in Europe are getting very hot, all due to climate change, because again, it's all about that jet stream being screwed up. And we're going to pull this out a little bit and show you the jet stream here. We'll look at the wind speed again. We'll show you the jet stream and why this is happening. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this jet stream. What a mess this is. This is the jet stream over Europe now. Look at how wavy and diffuse this jet stream is. This is insanity. Insanity. And this is all due to what we're doing in the Arctic. The Arctic is getting warmer and warmer and warmer, and the jet streams are just completely out of order. And this is why we're seeing these really crazy weather patterns and heat in places that aren't supposed to get that hot. And the hot places continue to get worse. This is global warming is still a good name for it, but I like to call it a climate crisis because that's what we're in. That's what we're in. And if that heat continues, maybe we'll do a climate update. Like I said, I don't want to do too many of those. But again, here is the jet stream here. It's absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And we're going to look at the temperatures around the planet here and show you, again, the heat. This was at 2 o'clock today. Show you the heat over Germany there. And even in Siberia, have temperatures that are not quite as hot as it was before. But even if you go into the Arctic, places where it's supposed to be cold, like places that are supposed, 50s, that's not that cold. You know, Alaska is very warm. So the whole northern hemisphere is just, this is going to be the hottest summer the northern hemisphere has ever experienced. And every year it's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And that is a scary, scary thing. That's why we're in this climate emergency. That's why we got to do something about it. And like I said before, I know it's a radical idea. I'm all for the sovereignty of this country, but at this point, the climate crisis is so bad that the UN must act and start removing governments that don't comply with the elimination of fossil fuels at this point. And I will just leave one thing before I leave this video. New York State has passed legislation for to reduce the use of fossil fuels, I think, by 2030 or something like that, or is it 2050? It's not aggressive enough, but it's actually the most aggressive climate change legislation that is passed in any of the states in this country. So that's very good. I'm very happy about that. But we need other states to join. This is a climate crisis. It's only going to get worse. We are literally falling off a cliff into the furnace, and we need to act now. So yeah, I know I say it in every weather update, but this is a crisis, and I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care. I know the mainstream media, they are bought and paid for by Wall Street, fossil fuels, and the elites, and they don't want to talk about this. But I'm going to talk about it because we have to. If we don't address this, we are going to be brought to the brink of extinction. That's it. Take care.